Hi, everybody. I am Andra Annette, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, CJC Boyd, and welcome to this week's session of Healing from the Inside Out. So today we want to talk about that continued journey. A lot of times people are reaching for health and then they feel healthy and they slack off. And they don't realize that it's a continued process. If you lose weight, you got to maintain it. If you start exercising, you got to keep doing that exercise. Otherwise, Popeye arms come back, all that good stuff goes away. So it's about doing that inner work and understanding why you started the journey, what's important to you, and how to continue feeling really good. And that comes from owning who you are and what you want in your life. So what are your thoughts, CJ?
I think as you're saying it, it's just I feel like I'm being called out this morning, and I think it's a good thing because I have been, I've done the things, I've done the 75 hards, and I've been like laser focused on, working out 2 times a day and feeling really great. And it came up on my memories, my very last 75 hard, and it's like, wow, your face is really skinny and you look amazing. And then I'm looking at myself going, when's the last time you actually went outside and took a walk? When's the last time you got on the treadmill? And so I think it's so important because, like you said, we work really hard and we hit a certain goal, and then we're like, oh, okay, that worked, and now I slack off. And so, for me personally, I find myself, if I'm not intentional every single day about what I'm drinking, what I'm putting in my mouth, eating nutritionally, moving, doing the mindset, it's the whole package. If I find myself just going laser focused on one thing, it's like, great, I'm game on, let's do it, hit that goal. But then all the rest of the things fall to the wayside. And so for me, I think it's a matter of being the whole package and being intentional about, I want to be the whole package. I want my health to be total package health, mindset, hydration, all the things where, we really got to think about why we're doing it. I'm want to be healthy because eventually my kids are going to have grandkids and I want to be able to run and jump and play in the yard with them. That reason why has to be bigger than me going, oh, because I'm vain and I want to look good when I look in the mirror.
Did you see that look that I gave you?
Yes, I did.
It was like you were talking and all of a sudden it was silent. And I think it got near the age. And I said, wow, how did she do that? My girlfriend we used to say, like, she went across this pond, fell in 4 times. So, but that's how it was, like, so perfectly when you say that. I said, shit, how do I get that on my computer? Right near the age. But it was like so on point. You were talking and you must have mentioned your age or something and and then we got to the grandkids. Like that whole piece went missing. I said,
I'm magic.
listen, I totally agree. Let's use growing your business for an example, right? So I'm a health coach, right? And I'm out there growing a business and doing all these things. So you do have to have balance, right? But there's only 24 hours in a day. So those half an hour say, okay, I can get away with 10 minutes of exercise. Okay, I can eat, like grab something on the run, right? So maybe you're not sitting down and having those enjoyment. It happens to all of us. So we have to like kind of map out a plan and see where we want to be in 10 years, 20 years, and be consistent in the things that are most important. So if I'm growing a health practice, I've been in health for 40 years, right? So I'm not really changing. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm the same person. It's just I'm in a different place. But so where does that lack come from? Where does that sense of balance disappear to? Because I'm not really changing. I'm just moving. But we only have 24 hours in a day, right? So we are who we are in our core, right? But we still only have that 24 hours in a day. So we have to manage, okay, I want this and I have to be here so many hours a week or a year, right? But I want this too. How do I add that in where I'm doing consistent things every day and growing this, still having this, and still taking care of me? And when you sit down and you try to do them, it doesn't look possible until you actually start doing it. Because I pull off too. I pull off too. Those 30-minute exercises became 15 minutes. Those 6-pack abs are now 3 packs. And I'm saying, hey, the other guy go, right? So I get it. I get it. But we do have to bring it home and remember that we are the center of everything in our life. And if we let go of that most important person, everything else will fall off.
Yeah.
We're the ones we're doing it for.
Exactly. And I think like when we're trying to build a business, we're so worried about helping other people get results. We're so worried about, making sure that other people know what they're doing, that we aren't intentionally prioritizing us. And like you said, we are the center of our world. And if I'm not showing up, consistently taking care of myself, who's going to listen to me to get results? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think that the happier you are and the better you show up. Like I'm the good morning girl on Facebook, right? But
Yes,
if
you
if
are.
I had Mr. Frown turns upside down every morning, a lot of people wouldn't be coming out to say good
No.
morning to me, right? So, and a lot of people do. Someone said, "Wow, this really made my day. Thank you." Well, that makes my day that I'm actually making someone else's day. If I do
Yeah.
nothing else, I gave something back to another human being, right? But we don't always do that same love for us. And if I look like hell, nobody's going to want the programs I'm doing,
Yeah.
right? Nobody.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like a 500-pound nutritionist. People are going to say, hmm,
Yeah.
well, she doesn't look like her skin is glowing. She doesn't look like she has energy. She's falling asleep in all of our meetings. So you have to look at that because what we put out in this world is what comes back to us. So when we're putting out beauty and we're putting out health and we're putting out, then it shows that we care enough about ourselves to take care of ourselves. Because when you see that person that's always happy and always smiling and always full of joy, you can't help but say, God, I want some of that.
Yeah. I want
No
what
matter
she's got.
where
Yeah.
you are, right? No matter where you are
Yeah.
in your life, you want some of that joy, some of that happiness, some of what they have. Wow, that's contagious. I want that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, there are some people that's what's the word, toxic positivity, where that they're just pretending that they're happy and they're putting on a smile and a happy face and doing the thing. But when you like go through their pages and it's like something that's not matching up. So, I don't think that I think a lot of people need to understand it's not about just going out and putting on a smile and pretending you're happy and, saying the things. You have to actually walk the walk. And so for me, that's what's landing is like, yeah, if I'm telling myself I'm going to do something, I need to prioritize that. And I think when you were talking about like, you want this goal out here, I used to roll my eyes when people you have to reverse engineer it. But I'm just thinking about that landing. If I want to lose 50 pounds by this time next year, what can I do now, each month, each day, each week to get to that point? So for me, it's scheduling. I am a meticulous, I am a visual person. So I have my day planner like on me all day long and I schedule it out. But it's the reality of being priority and being integrity with myself and going, okay, you have it in your planner. How many days have you went by and you didn't check that off because you didn't actually do that? And people can see that, like you said, if you're trying to build a business and you're not consistent, you show up one day and then you're gone for 3 days, and then you show up again and then you're gone for another 3 days. People are like, where the hell did CJ go? What's going on? And so for like, to see you're there every single day and you have the same attitude and the same mindset and the same glow every single day. And
So do
that's what
you.
consistency.
Like, but even for my business, like I've been putting out all this health and talking about health, but people say, where is this girl the rest of the week? So they don't know that I'm in the hospital helping people or I'm in the community helping people. And I can't really bring people into that world.
Right,
HIPAA
right.
doesn't allow me to. And even if I could, I wouldn't
Wouldn't. Yeah.
because then that takes away from who they are. I remember walking in a room and seeing my aide on the phone while she was doing care. And I said, if I ever see that
Ooh,
again, that will be the last day you are on this unit. Because
wow.
you're telling that woman without even trying that whoever you're talking to on the phone is more important. And I called her aside. I didn't do it in front of the patient. I said, do you realize that a lot of these people don't even have family that comes to visit them? And when your phone call is more important than what you're doing with that woman at that moment, you just told her she didn't matter without even
Wow.
trying.
Right.
I
Whew.
said, so, and I said, I'll forbid phones on the unit. You only have them for an emergency. I said, because you are so much better than that. I said, when I go into a room, I know you've been in there doing care. I said, but I want her to know
Hurts
that
now.
she's
Yeah.
the most important person in your world right in this minute.
I think, a lot of times people get into that phone mindset, yes, it's a great thing for building your business and social media and all the things, but sometimes it makes me sad that we're all attached to our phone 24/7 and it's like nothing is private. Everybody is like, in the bathroom taking a selfie or well, here's what I just made. And that's great if you're whatever, but what Landon, when you were saying that is like, people are like, oh, I'm doing this random act of kindness. It's not random. You're doing it because you want everybody to know that you did it.
But if you have to tell people what you're doing, then it's more for show than for actuality.
The reality,
And
yeah.
that just doesn't do anything for me. I'm not that girl. When we went live today, I had blood trickling down my face. I have, we all have our hairs on our face as we get older. So I have this little thing that goes around and takes it, but I was running fashionably late. So I saw my husband's razor and went like this. Blood started sprinkling everywhere. I said, "Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is not good." And you know what? I had to show up anyway with the blood slit. And I said, "CJ, it looks like I have yuck mouth." And she's like, "I can't see it, Andra." But we have these feelings about having to show up a certain way or be a certain person. And what if we could just show up as who we were and be who we are, and people were more accepting? But I think as a culture, we're taught we have to be something else to fit in instead of just being who we are.
Yeah.
You were
There's
talking.
all these unwritten expectations about how you have to show up, what you need to look like, how your hair has to be, all these people, airbrushing their photos and all these things. And for me, I'm like, what you see is what you get. I'm not going to go put my makeup on or do my hair to make you like me. I spent 4 decades of doing that. I was the girl in high school who everybody like was like, fuck, okay, whatever. I never learned how to do my hair and makeup because I didn't care.
Yeah.
And my mom wasn't that person. So I didn't learn it from her. And if I have to start now at 54 trying to be something I'm not, then what I've not learned anything. I've not evolved. I've not done anything. And I think a lot of people do that. They show up in a certain way. And I've even had coaches reach out to me and go, how can you pretend that you're a coach when you don't show up and you're not put together? You need to put some lipstick on. You need to do your hair. And I'm like, fuck that. What you see is what you get. I want people to feel my heart. I don't care what they think about my face or my hair or the clothes that I'm wearing. I want people to feel my heart. When they come into a room with me, I want them to feel that energy that I genuinely care about them, less than what I care about me being all put together.
Honestly, I have the nicest clothes that you could possibly think. And going in my closet, it looks like I have like someone picking out this wardrobe for me.
I
But
love it.
they look great on the rack, and I bring them home and I'm like, this isn't really me. And I'll throw on my favorite pair of sweatpants and jeans anyway. You know,
Yep.
I have 100 pairs of shoes. I don't think anyone's ever seen me in shoes, unless they're flip flops or flats. I don't like shoes. Never did.
I
But
love it.
because society says a girl should be wearing shoes, I say, oh, those are cute. Maybe I'll put them on. And then I get them home in my triple E width, and I say, that's not happening, not today. And, where is Dr. Joe when you really need them? So, I mean, we have to stop worrying so much about what society is, and as our business, we're always going to have people tell us and I know that there are a lot of people out there that are saying some good things that maybe I should listen to, like a call to action. Because when you were sitting there talking about if I want to lose 50 pounds, immediately I knew exactly what to tell you. And I said, Andres, okay, stop yourself. Just stop yourself right there. You know, because
No, they're it.
but I mean, it's just who I am. And people like, well, if you
Right.
keep giving away and you keep giving away. But for me, I think that after 40 years in healthcare, if I started doing 5 stories a week with 30-second reels telling people what to do, that I would never run out of stuff to tell them.
True.
that would help. And so I don't see it as a disadvantage giving value or helping other people, because I think that the more that you help people and you put yourself out there, the more people see you're genuine and relate to you. And maybe you're not going to get that sale that day, but you've helped another human being. And when they're thinking about who, when their friend says, I would love some help, I'm trying to do this, they're going to say, I see this girl on social media. Maybe you want to reach out to her, or because she's always giving these great tips. Maybe you want to tune into her. I was in somebody else's group the other day, and I love her. And she always shows up in my feed, always. And I've been getting all these people that are down on their luck and don't have any confidence, right?
Uh,
Like showing up in these stories. And I've answered them, and you don't see me in groups. And I'm like, listen, you have to do that inner work. It's not, you have to, when you feel like emotionally eating, snack on some anti-inflammatories. Feeling down, go for a walk.
yeah.
Stop with those I can't and start saying I can. Show up for you, because this
Well,
is about you. It's not about. And she came back and said, wow, thanks. But so other people who might have read that might have felt a lot of tough love in there. But I told her, I didn't want to do that work either. That was the
right.
hardest thing. The journey of the weight loss was nothing compared to asking myself why I thought I didn't deserve health.
But that's what sets you apart. That's what sets you apart from everybody else out there, is that you continually come back to the inner work. Yes, you can lose weight and you can eat right and you can fix your gut and you can do all these things, but it starts with the inner work. It starts with you deciding that you're good enough, that you're worthy of it, that you're important enough to do those things. Where what's different from other people is, we're, let's face it, we're an instant gratification. Give me that magic lotion potion pill that'll drop me 50 pounds in, last week, and I don't have to do anything. Where in reality, you have to love yourself enough to go, I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to make this for myself. I'm going to make this switch flip inside of me to maintain that. I've talked to so many people too. They're like, oh, just tell me what I need to do. Is there some pill I can take? Or, what is wrong with us as a society?
Society is making us mental morons,
Yeah,
and I think it's a good thing they're taking the phones out of the school. They just got to put that out there. Because the kids are not learning. They don't have to sign, they don't have to know how to tell time anymore. Everything's digital. They don't even have to sign their name. I mean, come on.
yeah,
So, but everybody wants easy because society is setting them up for this. So listen, I would rather do something in 30 seconds than spend 6 hours doing it too. But you do have to, in order to do that, you do really have to know the process and systems to make that work, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, anybody can lose weight. It's not losing weight they're having trouble with. They're having trouble keeping it off. And that's what they don't get, because they keep falling back into their same system. So when I started on that journey, I mean, I was this big. And then, my thyroid and all those other things that I went through in my life, I started seeing that I was dieting and there was no lifestyle, there was no rhyme, and there was no reason to it. And I said, I got to understand that when I do this, I'm going to get this. So you can draw a mental picture for people and saying, this is the bridge, but they have to want to cross it to get that lifestyle, right? So, and it is a lifestyle. So fixing your gut, or you know increasing your metabolism, is only going to be good if you keep doing what you're doing. There's that old saying, if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you always got, right? So if you sit down and you create a plan to maintain gut health, right? So 90% of the population has poor gut health. And that's because America is really sick here. The foods they're giving you aren't healthy. They're loaded with sugars and all that stuff, right? So it's not about taking all that stuff out. It's about adding health in, and your body will crave that just like it does sugar. It craves health. You'll wake up one day and say, damn, I would love some broccoli. baked or fried. You do, because the things that I reach for today are not the things I reached for 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen overnight, but I saw that I felt good and I wanted to feel good. It's like you see joy, you want more.
Yeah.
I said, wow, when I put in spinach, I have no pain and I feel good. I got all day energy. I went out and bought bushels of spinach that week. Okay, I'm going to have more spinach because this really worked. And it's a process that you go through, even when people are trying to lose weight. If you follow the concept, like when I did maternity, because we had to do maternity, wasn't my favorite thing. You had to have them, reduce by 500 calories to lose that baby weight, right? 500 calories a week. But if you look at the way the body works and metabolism, when you reduce, your body slows down and it adjusts, because the whole purpose of your body is to maintain homeostasis. So when you adjust, it adjusts. You adjust, it adjusts. So it makes more sense to me, as someone who understands that concept, that if I want my metabolism to increase, that I have to increase something I'm doing. Those meals, regular periods, consistency. So I know that if I eat every day at 9 o'clock, my body's waiting at 9 o'clock. So why would I disappoint my body? Right? So that's what you do. You get consistent. People think consistency is, just doing the same things again and again and again, but it's consistent in all your actions. So consistent food timing. So it's not just what you're eating, it's the timing of those meals, the size of those meals. My mother gave us bowls of food like this and said, eat everything on your plate. And I
Yeah.
would actually get sick sometimes,
Yeah.
and she would feel good thinking that I was going to school on a full stomach. I was sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
So in my head, I still felt guilty throwing out food because that's what she put in my head. So I said, well, let me reduce the size of that plate. I can eat this size and then I
Right.
won't have to feel bad, right? And I could work on two things. So you have to understand that disconnect in your brain, because it's not things we created. It's all a product of our environment and what we've been taught for years. And some of it's true, but most of it's false. So
Yeah.
we have to somewhere say, okay, the reality is that all food is good, because all food is good. It's
Right.
the Americans that said, okay, this is good, let's add more fiber. I mean, more bulk, not fiber, more bulk, more crap, so that we can sell more and distribute more. But the food, before they added all that in, was
It
perfect.
was good. Yeah.
It was
Yeah. And
already good.
what's really landing for me when you're saying that is going back to the whole package thing. I mean, yes, you can eat food, but it's about, like you said, the timing of it, the consistency of it, the portion control. It's all the thing. It's the whole package around it. It's not just, okay, I need to eat this much food. It's how you cook it. Like, are you boiling the nutrients out of it, and you're eating mush that's not really doing you any good? It's the whole package. And I think being intentional about that is what really changes the game.
It does, but that's intentional in your business, intentional in your life, and intentional in that inner work that we do with ourselves. You know, so I was that person that every morning the first thing I did was that meditation, and that set me up for the day. And I did that gratitude thing. I'm thinking gravity because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting on a gravity bar today. I haven't been on in a while, and saying, can I still do it? And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make myself do it. It makes me feel amazing. But that gratitude. So little by little, when you take time, when you need time back, you don't take it from the places that have created the life you want. You take it from those social media posts where you're snapping a picture for everybody to see. That's where you take the time from, because, yes, it's great. You have to show up. But if you can't show up for yourself because you got to let 6 people know you took a walk today, who
Yeah,
is that really for at the end of the day? You don't
exactly.
see me on social media really sharing my whole life, right?
Right.
Because people would say that girl has no life. She's always at work. She's always at work. This really is her life. This is what she does for a living. And now she's doing it for fun. People wouldn't understand. So, but I also want a part of that for me, that
Yeah.
part of that enjoyment, that peace, that quiet. I go sit outside on the bench every morning with my dog and just sit there and just have nothing, just quiet
That's awesome.
until she realizes I haven't thrown her ball and she, right? Give me the ball. But we have to have those moments for ourselves. So little by little, I saw that when my business started growing, that I felt stagnant. And I know that might not make a lot of sense to like people that are watching, but I was a person that was always reading 5 books a week. I commute to work and stuff, and then all of a sudden I said, okay, I had to post this morning, so I'll do my gratitude on the train and I'll do this, and everything started getting pushed back. So even though I was growing here, I felt like the growth here was
Yeah.
either stagnant or regressing. And I said, okay, I got to step back. So I might be more present on social media now, but I spend less time there. I spend more time doing that inner work because I saw that I was losing the me that I was really proud of. And I said, do what has to come first, me or them? And if I have to at some point choose between scaling my business to 10 figures or me, then I'm always going to pick me,
Yeah.
because I was certainly happy when I was broke ass on the balls of my ass,
Yeah.
right? So I want to be that happy person no matter what I have. And I've never been able to measure wealth financially. I know that sounds crazy, but when we were growing up, we were so poor. And I didn't realize it then because my mother worked her ass off growing up so that we were in all these activities and we did all this stuff to stay out of trouble. So I always felt that love, even though she wasn't the person to verbalize, to say, I love you. I felt it all
Yeah.
around me in those laughing moments, those tickle fights I had with my sisters and the pillow fights. I felt it there. And that's how I measured my wealth. It wasn't until people tried to make me feel less than at a party or an event that I maybe wasn't in the same dress as they were, or I was in my Alexander slippers. And, you know, that I started noticing that people measured wealth differently,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
think that that's a huge sticking point. Like we're so programmed to think that wealth is about money, when in reality, the wealth is about how much joy we feel, how much inspiration and how anticipation we are, and how much excitement we have about the life that we're living. That's how that for me, that's what true wealth is. It's not about the dollar amount in my bank account.
I mean, money helps. Don't get me wrong. I love money. Money
Yeah,
loves me.
yeah,
I love money. I don't want to put that negative out there. I love
yeah,
money. Money loves me. Money flows to me. So, but because what you say really matters. But what I'm saying is, if we are working so hard, and I think society sets us up for real failure here, that you have to work hard to be successful. You have to go to college to make something of yourself. There are so many people out there that never spent a day in college, some
yep,
that never even graduated high school, that are so successful, right?
yeah,
So we make these things up about, and that comes from what they were taught, so our history keeps repeating itself, but none of that stuff is really true. So we do have to separate that out, and because if you're working yourself 90 hours a week, I did 60 hours in 4 days. That's who I am. And then I'm off the rest of the week, right? So,
Right.
but if you're killing yourself in the process, what
What's
is
it for?
what is it for?
Yeah. Yeah. Or if you're giving lip service, like for me, I'm a huge meditation, gratitude, breath work. I do all that in my bed when I wake up before I do anything. I don't grab for my phone. I do my gratitudes, I do my meditation, I set my intention for the day. So in my mindset, my day's already planned out, my day's already done. Everything has, come out, and the outcome of everything, I already know that it's done, and I'm in that mindset before I get out of bed. Where there was a time in the past was like, oh, I need to show up and I need to do this. And it was like I was multitasking. Okay, I'm going to do my gratitudes while I'm on the treadmill, or I'm going to visualize while I'm on the treadmill. I didn't feel that same joy and that same excitement about my gratitude and about the visualizations because I was multitasking. I wasn't present in that moment and making it a priority. So when I started making it a priority for me, then the energy that I'm giving off to everybody else is way different because I'm already feeling that for myself. I'm already feeling good about myself and all the things. And I think, just coming back home to, you have to come home to you about what makes you feel good. And then that's when everything else in your life starts falling into place.
I agree. I agree. So over the next 2 months, I'm going away with one of my girlfriends that I met through She Rises. We're just going to these crazy little like couple of day things and just getting out there. So it's the first time we've ever gone away together, but we are live all the time on shows and all these things, working on things. And she thinks I'm some business mogul or something. She's always telling me, "Oh my God, you have this all work out." I'm like, "Girl, I'm figuring it out as I go." You know? But we're going away. We're doing like a business learn thing where we're going and we're networking and stuff like that and just having fun. And she said we have to find time for business. I said, okay, we will. But we have to have time for fun too. I said, because that's what really makes the business good. But this whole summer is really, really about my journey back home to me. So I started this podcast journey home. I pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. I'm going to really put a lot more into that over the summer because I've been through a lot of crap in my life. And I mean, I hurt real bad at a lot of different times in my life. And now I'm not good morning girl. So I think that people need to see that change and that reflection. And when I came online, it was during COVID to help. I wasn't thinking about a business at all, you know?
Right.
And I want to say the first year I was showing up, I never even thought about a business. And I was happy, I was productive, and all of me was intact. So, and I felt good about what I was doing. So that's my journey home this summer to remember why I started this, what's important to me. What happens if this never gets to where I want it to be? I mean, that's not even a thought for me because well, I'm one of those people that love to kick ass and take names. I love to succeed, right? So I keep going. I don't quit. So but I've been thinking about that lately too. Like I'm really putting so much into this, is it worth it? Because when you're growing a business, a lot of people will tell you need those processes and those systems and stuff like that. And you put them in and you say, well, I don't really see how this is open. I don't really, and you're hoping that over time that's going to change. But then you see the other time that you're not present for your family, your friends, the fun that you're missing. And you say, okay, I have to do this now to grow the business. Well, what if this is all you have is now? Because none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So that's why that balance piece is so important. And I feel kind of out of alignment with who I am right now. And that's never good for me.
No.
So I always have to feel really good and really focused on who I am as a person. So when I feel like I'm stepping back from me it's always time to refocus my energy. Because that you can, it takes time to do that inner work and get to where you want to go, but it takes seconds to get lost. And that's the message I really want to share to people, because we are always those yes people. We're always doing for other people, but it takes seconds to say no to us. And then it gets easier and easier and easier to say no to yourself, right? And then you're snacking on those M&Ms. And those pretzels late at night. And yes, 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 we do all those things. And you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to talk about those things too, because when you're out there talking about the hard, people show up online and they talk about business. And this is what I love about you, because when we talk, we're always talking serious with each other. We're always talking about the real truth, what we're struggling with, and what, because we know that we're not trying to pitch to each other, right?
Right.
We know that we genuinely care about each other's success, and that's how other people should be too. But I think when we show up and we tell people like we do in real life, it's not fucking easy. Oops, sorry,
No.
I didn't mean to say that. So rough. But it's not easy, and you really have to do this work. So make sure that you have the staying power. And most
Yeah.
people give up because they look at that and say, wow, it's been 3 years. And like Sarah Ann, who's online, who I love, she says, the first 3 years I didn't make a penny, right? And I'm like, good girl. You
Right.
you kept
You're
going,
still
good girl.
here.
So I see the pride in that she kept going.
Yeah.
And um I'm so happy for her, genuinely happy that she kept going, that she saw that, nothing was going to stop her. I want this and I'm going to keep going,
Yeah.
you know? But then you see those people that come out and, people are telling them all these falsehoods that, losing weight is easy. Take this and call me in the morning,
Yeah.
doing that inner work. Oh, get serenity overnight. Come join my meditation. It doesn't happen like that,
No.
and I listen to some really serious meditation apps. And some days I can go from 0 to 10, and all those meditations just have gone out the window. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a continual process of that growth. Right.
And I think it's being realistic about it. Like, think about it. So it took me 25 years to blow up 80 pounds overweight. I'm not going to lose 80 pounds in 3 days. And if people want to do like the visualization, the meditation, even building a business and growing wealth, you're not going to get wealthy overnight. And we have all these people out there having unrealistic expectations, say, oh, join me, I can show you how to make 6 figures in 6 months, or whatever the thing is. They don't tell you the things that are behind the scenes. A lot of it is the inner work that we're talking about right now, is you have to put in and make yourself the priority and make yourself the choice. I've had a lot of people too be like, sacrifice now for the greater good. I'm not going to sacrifice my inner peace for any dollar amount, because I've been there, done that. That doesn't work. I want to know and love and be true and integrous with who I am at the core. And I want people to feel that. I'm not going to give that away. It's like selling yourself for $1. That's not happening. So you
but
have to
then
make yourself, decide that you're worth it.
but they're not also not teaching people the right way either.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Um, because it's one thing to say that the law of attraction and all this stuff, but most of the people that are out there selling the law of attraction are just selling it because they're told that there's money in four niches and this,
Yep,
that.
yep.
But they really don't know the law of attraction. And you can tell by what it's out there saying, because you have to, if you want to be 110 pounds, then you have to act as if you're 110 pounds now.
Yeah.
You don't say, when I'm 110 pounds, I'll keep eating that spinach and those greens. You start eating those spinach and those greens today.
Right now. Yeah.
You don't say, when I'm a millionaire, I'm going to give more to charity. You give to that charity now. And whatever is going to come from that is going to come from that. But if you're saying you're rich and acting as if you're poor, then there's no law of
Yeah.
attraction in that. You can't
Nope.
be in abundance and be in lack at the same time. So you can't be in and out. It's like a factory out there. Somebody explains this in a book, and it was the best thing I ever heard. That the universe is open to us and we can have anything we want. And that because we have free will, it's our minds that are drawing that to us, that he's given us control over that. So that's why some people from the same family are very rich, other people are poor, that different people have different feelings. But they described it as a factory, and you're saying, oh, I really want to make $1 million. And the guy gets on the truck and he's loading up your $1 million and he's ready to deliver it. And then you say, but I'll never have that. And he's like, shit, she changed her mind again. And he rolls it back in, uh, you know, like, look at that car. Why would look great in that car? I'd really like that car. And he gets it and he's loading it up. And then you're like, yeah, but I would have to work really hard. And maybe that's just not for me. And he just brings that right back into your factory. So when I'm talking about consistency, it's about in everything. It's okay to say that we're proud and we're confident and stuff, but as people, we do interact with all those people in the world, and they can shake your confidence.
Yeah.
You do want more than you have, and that is your birthright, to have more, to live better, to that's who we are as people, right?
Yeah.
But you have to stay in that mind, and maybe not tell yourself, shit, this is hard work. Maybe,
Right.
and say, maybe this is easier than I thought. Listen, I have been really slacking on my exercises. And today I was doing this tape that probably haven't done in 6 months. I change exercises all the time because your body likes change, and the more you change, the less likely it is that it will get used to that and you'll plateau. So I always change. I've always done that, and it works. Because it stops that whole balance. You always throw your body off balance, right? So um I was doing it this morning, and when I tell you, I was like, when did I do this? And it felt good. Saying to myself, damn, I would love to feel that now. And I wanted to stop. And I said, I can't. I got to keep going. Because it was so hard to do in that heat. I'm that
Yeah.
winter baby. It was so hard to do in that heat. And I said, boy, I really better work out twice as hard in the winter. Because the summer is not doing it for me. But we all have our things. We all back off. But I think the best thing that we can tell people is that we're all a work in progress. And
Yeah.
there's no perfection. There's nobody out there that's perfect. I'm certainly not. I'd be lying through my teeth if I said I was. You know, I wasn't always healthy. Yes, I know health backwards and forwards, but sometimes it's hard to show up for yourself. I get that. Sometimes we get busy, but you have to talk about those times and why it's hard so you can find the truth in it and say, but I'm worth it again. And just reaffirm. When you start saying, I feel like shit and I don't, I can't do this. That's when you have to step back and reaffirm and talk about, like, hey, I'm having a bad day. You know,
Yeah. The self-reflection, I think, is the biggest key.
yeah.
Why did I start this in the first place? What do I really want? And am I feeling good about it? And if you're not feeling good about it, like you said, if you're not being true to you, you're not feeling good about it for yourself, then you need to tweak whatever you're doing that gets you back into that good feeling space and that satisfaction and that joy of the reason why you do it in the first place.
I feel like I need more time for me than I have. So that's why I'm out of alignment,
Yep.
because I feel like when I feel like I'm missing out on things and they're all things I have control over,
Mhm.
something's wrong with that picture.
Yep.
So I said, wait a minute,
Exactly.
but I control where I spend my time. So why
Yeah.
am I feeling like I'm missing out? Because I can choose to do this today and not feel guilty about it. So that's what I mean about alignment. So I'm taking back a lot of my time. And if that means I'm less social, I don't know. Then I'll have to figure a new way to grow things that I want to grow, or create more impact in the places I am, instead of being so dispersed. Spend more time in where what's important to me, and create greater impact in those places. Right.
Yep. I love it. This is a good conversation.
Well, I mean, because we do have to have these conversations, and other people have to realize that it's not just them, that these things really, they happen to everybody. Nobody's perfect. No, like a lot of times you do fake it till you make it. You wake up one day and you say, I want to make $1 million. I can do A, B, C, and D, and maybe buy a lotto ticket, guarantee. Maybe not count that out, right? But you have to, like, always be taking action in your corner. Today I didn't do as much exercise as I like to. It's ridiculously hot in here, right? And I have the air conditioning full blasting, and it's so hot and humid in New York that even with the air conditioning in every room, it's still hot for me with my thyroid. So I slacked a little on the exercise today. I know that I will eat amazing all day today. I've already got it all planned out. I'm already 3 meals in, and I'm thinking about meal four. Little, because I mean, I eat little things all day long. I'm on my Cheerio kick this week too. I love my Cheerios. So I go through these periods where, I'll eat certain things more than others. Like one week I'll have a yogurt week where that's my go-to snack, and then
Yeah.
BLT is my go-to snack that week, hmm, so we'll see. I love BLTs. Love BLTs. I was thinking hot dogs today, believe it or not. Organic
Oh,
hot dogs, yes, mine are organic. I just want to say that. But that's what I was thinking. I was saying, well, when was the last time I had a hot dog? I have organic hot dogs that I just ordered. So when I was doing my little thing this week, I ordered things online. I have an organic company that comes right to my house, so I can have that time back. And I
nice.
saw organic hot dogs, and I said, all right, let's give them a try. How bad could they be? Right? They're plant-based. I said, if they taste good, then we'll say okay, But
Right.
beef is not unhealthy. Pork is not unhealthy. None of those things are unhealthy. It's all those things that you slather on in them, and sitting down and having 6 hot dogs. And um,
Yeah.
I remember a true story. I did the Atkins diet, and you were allowed to have all the fat you want to have. And I loved hot dogs. And I said, wow, I can have 6 hot dogs. Check it out. And I remember sitting down there and looking at what I was about to eat and say, this really can't be good.
Right.
And that's how long my adventure with Atkins lasted. Because I saw that and what I was visually going to put in my body, and said, this can't be good.
Right.
I'll lose the weight, but clog my arteries.
Yeah. Right.
So you do have to use common sense. Things that sound too good um, to be true usually aren't. So we're gonna end our show, because I think that I could talk to you for like 3 days,
I know, right?
just sit down and just talk to you about anything. But we do want to leave you with real clues into what it's like coming home to you and really liking who you are. I don't know about you, but you said something that really made me say, good girl, CJ, and I was so proud of you, because you said, I'm not going to change who I am for someone to be, because I think every woman in America has been there where someone made them feel like they didn't fit in, like
Yeah.
that, those crazy high school days, right? And at 50, I'm going to be 58 this year. Wow. And it's the first time in my life I'm just so okay with who I am and where I want to be, you know?
Same. Yep. This is the first time in my life in 54 years that I can actually get up and go and look in the mirror and actually love the woman that's looking back at me and be okay with that. And like, I've never been able to do that. And so the inner work works.
Yeah. So that journey, no matter what you do on the outside, You do have to do that inner work. Because if you don't like who you are, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter how you show up. And trust me, I mean this from the bottom of my heart because I spent most of my life smiling on the outside and dying on the
You know,
inside. And that had me in a 300-pound body, very sick, acting like Nurse Ratchet. So, so I get it. I get it. I get it. So we want to thank you as always for stopping in and spending this time with us. I'm Andra Annette, and this is CJC Boyd. Have a great day.